And we are back on the Now Morning Show, and it's time for DIY Now, brought to you by TNZ Home Improvement and Rustic Works Furniture Company.
Do it yourself, brought to you by TNZ Home Improvement Center, making home improvement easy since 1986.
And we're back here now, and of course safety is priority, so I'm putting my gloves on and I'm going to get my eyewear, protective eyewear on as well. Let me just make sure I strap this up. And right, as promised, we are going to do part 2 of the mosaic tree display shelf. So as we see over here, I've completed the part where I completed the mosaic. Again, this was all made from scrap wood. So they were all different sizes, different cuts, different colors, and I created a mosaic using the different pieces. I filled in certain places that had spaces with wood putty, and then I had nailed it down and glued it as well. So I used the brad nails, as I mentioned in the first segment, part 1 of this. I used the brad nails and I used wood glue to fasten everything to the plyboard. So this is the stage we have gotten to now. So you will need cut from a tree branch, preferably used from a tree that is already dead, a tree that has fallen or had already been cut down previously. I would recommend that you don't cut down a live tree to do this. Also, you need the branch to be dry as possible. So a fresh branch, of course, would not be dry. So you want to ensure that you use wood that has already been cut and is already dead. All right, so to that, I spray painted it. You will need spray paint, you will need a measuring tape, you will need a level, a drill with a 1/2 inch spade bit, and you would also need a 3/4 inch, sorry, not a 3/8 inch, that should be 3/8 inch drill bit. You need a power screwdriver with a Phillips head bit, and you would need 9 3-inch gauge screws. Now remember, this is part 2, so after this we have one more part next week, and definitely something to look forward to. So what you missed, as we come back to the screen here now, with the tree branch that I had cut, I cut it slightly shorter than the full length of the plyboard that we did the mosaic on, just so that we ensure that it fits. Now this one is a little bit unique. It has some branches going off to the side in different directions, and you want that aesthetic. You want that it's not just maybe one extension in one direction. You want it to be unique. So when you're choosing your branch, make sure you choose one that has a very nice shape and could create some eye interest on your piece. All right, so let's move forward now. So what you missed is that I spray painted this. I used gray spray paint. I spray painted the entire thing and let it dry completely before moving to this part. Now it's time to do a little drilling. So I mentioned before about the 1/2 inch spade bit. I'm going to pre-drill a hole in this block I have here. Now this block is a 2x6 inch block, and it is cut to 14 inches in length. Now the reason I am pre-drilling a hole with my spade bit is because for the next part, there's actually something that's going to go through that hole. All right, so I'm going to the middle here, and just off the side, I'm going to start drilling. Whoop. Protect the eyes. So as I drill here, ensure that you drill in a straight line down. You want to make sure that as you drill, you maintain one direction, and we're all the way through. All right, so next week you'll see why I drilled that hole in particular. I'm now going to switch out my drill bits because it's important for the next part that is to come. So as I switch out here, try to move a little bit faster. All right, so now I switch for my 3/8 inch drill bit that I'm going to use to drill some holes in the board itself and to the branch that you see over there. Now use my drill lock to tighten this up, and afterward we'll get into it. Very important to ensure that your drill bit is locked very securely, because if you slip, it could cause injury or it could cause you to damage the piece you're working on. All right, so always ensure you lock it securely. All right, I'm creating a little bit of mess this morning, but that's okay. You'll see why in a little bit. So I switch over to this side over here now. Now I've already placed this where I want it to be. What I'm going to do is pre-drill a hole that just averages where I need the first drill hole to be. So what I'll do is just move this aside slightly. I got a visual on it already. Ensure that you're working off the surface of your piece. and drill one hole from this side. This will be your guide hole so that you could line up the other holes on the other side with, because you're actually going to be working from the back. All right, so this is my pilot hole that'll be working. So guess what? You're going to flip this entire thing now, and what you're going to do is move aside this big cumbersome piece here, and you're going to use the level and your measuring tape in a second. All right, so I flip this over. Now I'm going to use my measuring tape quickly. And this is great, 2 inches away from the edge. So you know it's 2 inches, you're going to keep your measuring tape set. And you're then going to use a level just because there's some length to it, and you're going to line it up with that hole. Once you line it, you could then put your marks. You could use your drill as well to put your marks in this case, because you have your level that is already aligned. And as we want to secure this with a number of screws, so I'm going to put my marks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just considering the weight of this piece over here, I believe it would need quite a bit of screws to secure it well. So I have put 6 holes in total, and I'm going to put these pilot holes now as I switch this around to work safely and not drill through TTT's table, because I don't want to have to pay for it. All right, so as I go here now, try to speed up a little bit. All right, as we get this here now, what you need to do is ensure you flip this on the inverse side, so when you flip it over, you wouldn't mess up your piece. So what you want to do right now is flip this, not flip it, sorry. What you're going to do is put this underneath and align it just as you had it before, but on the opposite side. So from here, it's going to be a little bit difficult, I admit. All right, there we go. So as flat as possible. So ensure you align it with your holes. Again, these holes had been measured 2 inches from the edge. You wanna go from front and the back, and you're gonna use your drill one more time to get these. Now, as I said, this is gonna be done in parts, guys. So you're gonna have to log into TTT Live Online. You could check back the part from last week. So check back from the DIY segment before. All right, so we're just gonna make your pilot holes directly into the log now through these initial holes you've made in your piece here. We're then going to fasten them with the 3-inch screws. Then you're going to do a similar thing with this piece I had drilled earlier. You're going to actually drill some pilot holes from the back, after which you're going to fasten this to the piece. And this will be your first shelf. Next week, what you're going to look forward to is actually putting in a few more shelves, and we're going to use some metal piping once more, because we're going to get a little bit of an industrial feel on this. So I'm going to continue working here and on this DIY project, and next week you're going to see what the finished part of part 2 looks like. I will then recap what we went through, and then we'll go on to part 3. I'm going to introduce the metal piping, do some more of the shelving, and we're going to get some more pieces like this that are going to go, and you'll see the finished piece next week. All right, this DIY segment was brought to you by TNZ Home Improvement and, of course, by Rustic Works Furniture Company.
Do it yourself. Brought to you by TNZ Home Improvement Center, making home improvement easy since 1986.